speakers. I see in the audience there are some fairly older people, elderly. Now I'm pretty old as well, and therefore I can say this happily. And a lot of you older people don't believe in what the cell phone has and what you can do. But now this is something, instead of looking back at the past of what the Taylor family did do, look at the future. I implore you to all go onto a thing called Instagram. And if you don't know what that is, ask your 13-year-old granddaughter and she will tell you. And make sure that you follow Jordan 10 Taylor and Rodney Sandstorm and Ricky Taylor. We do it on a regular basis, my entire family. We spread around the world, and we will send WhatsApps afterwards. Have you seen Ricky's latest, whatever it might be, or Jordan's, and Fonzie the dog? It becomes your own little personal involvement in a family. Anyway, so that is something you can all take away with if you forget anything else. Right, now could I please ask Wayne's two sons, Ricky and Jordan, to come and talk to us.
Kind of splitting it, so we're going to split it down the middle. So thank you everyone for coming. First of all, for those who don't know, I'm Jordan, Wayne's youngest son. This is Ricky, his oldest. It's great that everyone can make it out. We've got lots of friends and family from all around the world, so thank you. Most of you know Wayne Taylor as the racing driver, the team owner, or the boss, but for us, it's simply Dad.
I actually used to know him as my boss as well, but he doesn't really like to pay drivers. He's quite frugal, and so I had to leave.
Well, to be honest, we kicked him out so we could afford Alonso for Daytona this year. But I also got a little bit of a bonus. But looking back at Dad's humble beginnings, he grew up in East London with Granny and Grandpa. You know, everything that he's made for himself, he did it himself. He was a very hard worker, which I think comes from a South African background. He went through the Selborne High School, which, as all you know, teaches you good work ethics, values, and morals, which he keeps with him today.
Selborne, isn't that where the Schechters are from? I think, yeah. So Dad moved on early in his career, moved to Johannesburg to further his career in Formula 2. At that time, my mom and her aunt were working with special needs children and taking them to the racetrack and showing them the cars. And when they first met, it was because my dad showed his big heart and compassion for kids, showing them the cars, walking them around, taking photos, signing things, just spending lots of time with them. Now we're his kids, and he calls us probably 15 times a day.
I think it's on a good day because it's usually about 20 for me. Or maybe that's because I'm still a driver. But last year, we had a big hurricane. Just to give an example for this, we had a huge hurricane come through Florida. Oh, there he is right now. We'll talk later. It must have been a butt dial. So the hurricane was coming through, and I was getting calls every 5 minutes. Is it raining there? Is it windy? Obviously for them it's scary going through a big storm. Ricky lives away, I live away, in different houses. And is it raining? Is it raining? Is it raining? I'm like, no, I live 9 houses from you. If it's raining at your house, it'll probably be raining at my house as well. So just wait for it. Anyway, the next big step for my dad was leaving South Africa to further his career on an international stage, which was obviously difficult, leaving Granny and Grandpa and my mom's mom, Bopsy. While Ricky was born in England, I was born in America. They were very unsettled as a family at that time, but the one thing that stayed true was that my dad was chasing the American dream.
Before hanging up his helmet, he got the opportunity to drive with countless legends in motorsport, one of which was particularly difficult to work with.
We're talking about a very difficult teammate, Max Angelelli, who happened to be the perfect business partner to form Wayne Taylor Racing with, which is still going today very successfully. But for my dad, transitioning from a race car driver to a team owner was probably the most difficult part of his career, but probably the most fruitful now. I lost my spot. Back to my spot. With the values and morals that he's learned along the way, he's been able to make key relationships, like you saw in the video, key ones being General Motors and Konica Minolta, which have been going on for 30 years or more.
My new boss, Mr. Penske, recently turned 82 this year, and has long been known as kind of the benchmark in motorsports. considering how much your boss and our dad has accomplished, and he tells us he's just turning 39 this year, I can imagine there's a bright future, even in his future as well.
We're truly grateful that everyone could come out tonight. My mom and dad still call South Africa home, so it's very special to us. But it's a huge honor to see my dad's name alongside the other Hall of Famers, so thank you very much.
We love you, Dad. We're very proud of you.
Can't you do a little bit of your knee wobble? Not now? Later.